Anyways, the Blackhawks beat the Avs 3-1. We're going to go over the Blackhawks. We're going to go over a statement from Kane on Taves. We're going to talk about that a little bit, and we're going to go over some NHL news. So to start off, Hawks beat the Avs. Go figure. It's so funny, man. You put some playoff teams in front of these guys, and they'll play, but you put a bottom banger on them, and
No
they'll
shows. Yeah.
they're absolutely no shows.
Yep.
And this isn't the first time. This is the second time they've beat the Avs in like the past like month and a half. So
Well, AHL goalie, they just called him up. It'd be a little
sure,
different with Blackwood, and I think they had a game the night before. But hey, they're still a good team.
yeah, they are. I'd like to have half those dudes.
Oh heck yeah.
Anyways, Blackhawks won. One thing I wanted to talk about, Matt, was the kind of the direction on Reichel has been sat for a few games, and obviously the fan base is split. Some people think that he's washed. Some people think that we should hold on to him. Some people think that he should be in Rockford. Personally, in the last game that they played against the Oilers, they put him on a line with Nazard and Doc, and we had actually mentioned a few weeks ago that they should be doing this. That they should have him on a line with Nazar and letting them try to get some chemistry together. And they did that in the last game. It looks like they're trying to figure it out, but they're going to need some time. Matt, do you think that just going forward, is there really any reason why not to have these kids just play together?
At this point, no. I know like the last game against the Oilers, that line was pretty much. I don't think they barely had the puck. I think Nazar had a little bit of somewhat of a breakaway, but the defender kind of caught up to him, and he didn't even get a shot attempt. So it takes time. You give it like 5-7 games, get some chemistry. But yeah, I mean, like poor Kurashev the other night, he makes one lazy play, and everybody is calling him, send him to the minors and stuff. Like, okay, well, if we're gonna have that mentality, we should be sending Seth Jones to the minors, Connor Murphy to the minors, Brody to the minors. I mean, those guys are more lazy than him. So, I like, yeah, I definitely like to see at least a good 10 games of one line together. I
At
mean, look
this
what it's paid off for Bedard and
Bertuzzi,
Bertuzzi. They
yeah,
got some good chemistry going. I know they didn't get anything going last game, but it was bound to end. His little point streak he had. Tevu though is the guy. You throw him on any line and he's still scoring. Good for him. We need that. We need more of that. We lack the goal scoring. That's hurting us.
I believe Bertuzzi has 7 goals in the last 8 games or something like that.
And they're all beautiful passes by Bedard. Just like he just has to put a stick in the right
Just puts a
spot.
stick on the ground,
Yeah,
and just
for
has to
sure.
just go in one, just to kind of just tap it in a little bit. I was thinking about Kurashev, man, and we talk about Murphy a lot. We've been talking about Jones quite a bit. Do you think that we're at the point now? We know exactly what Kurashev is. Why don't we just move on from this dude? Because he was very inconsistent his first 3 seasons. His fourth season plays with Bedard. He shows that he could only produce one on a line with Bedard. This year, he's back to being inconsistent. Is it time that we just kind of just say, okay, man, maybe you have better luck on another team or something? Considering we have some young players that they need to get some ice time.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna play much. I don't. What do you do with him though? Hey, you
Waivers?
could waive him. I don't think anyone's gonna claim him. He's gonna be in Rockford, but I don't think he's even the worst guy. That's the thing.
Yeah.
There's guys like Maroon. I mean, okay. I think I'd rather have if you want to win a game, I'd rather have Kurashev out there than Patty Maroon. At this point, he just takes stupid penalties all the time, and yeah, you need the veteran leadership. I don't know. I think we have enough of that, honestly. But I have no idea what you do with him at this point. He's got really no value because they see his numbers this year. He's a healthy scratch a lot. But definitely, I think we should let the kids play. And a perfect example is Nolan Allen. He's lighting it up, and I'm glad he's kind of he's pretty much a regular. I think now it's a no
Yeah,
brainer.
yeah. There's no reason why he shouldn't be in the lineup. To be honest with you, I don't think that there is really any reason to take him out of the lineup from game one of the season. Because
Yeah,
they swapped him out for Brody, Alex Martinez. He like a few games,
he's been
and
hurt. Yeah,
yeah, and I don't see the point. I think that Allen has played well. He's been putting some points up. He has been contributing on the offensive side of the puck a lot recently. I think they said he's second in rookie defenseman points.
behind
So
Hudson.
I mean,
Yeah,
I wasn't really expecting that, but quietly, he's doing his job, man. You don't really notice the guy very much, and I mean that in a very good
it's a good
way.
thing. Yep.
I don't see him getting dangled out of his skates. I mean, I've seen him take some penalties that I think that he could have, kind of maybe thought twice about. But other than that, I haven't seen him make some really bad decisions.
I,
Um,
I didn't think he had this much offense upside to him. I thought he was more of just a steady Eddie back in his own zone, and he's made some good passes recently
yeah,
too,
he
like
has
really nice ones. I think he made that pass to Ryan Donato in one of the games, and
for the
Donato
goal.
buried it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I saw that too. That was a really good one. I think his upside is great. I don't see a point really, man, for Alec Martinez. I don't see a point going forward for TJ Brody.
he's
You know,
scratched tonight.
I
Yep.
just don't see why we would want these guys in the lineup when we've got some young guys who desperately need some NHL experience. And when you've got somebody like Allen, who's obviously has gotten better from game one to where he is now, it's time to bring Korchinski back up and let him play with Allen, man, and let him finish developing in the NHL. If by the end of next season he isn't where you want him to, you could do what you want with him. But let's give this kid, actually maybe 2 seasons. You know, he's so great on his skates, creating offense that I think that he deserves an opportunity to play, considering some of the blatant mistakes and lack of effort from Seth Jones. I would think that he would be a leader on our defensive core, and and a lot of times, man, he's looked like the worst guy out there, and that
Seth
says something.
Jones. Yeah. Well, hey, our best stretch of the year. Mrazek and Seth Jones were not in the lineup. That's that
Mm,
stretch we had all the youth up, and that's when I was excited. All the youth was starting to come up, and hate to say it, Seth Jones coming back just kind of totally ruined that momentum.
it did.
And yeah, he gets caught a lot. It's like he's a guaranteed minus player every game. It's sad. I mean, I was happy when we got him. I don't flaw Bowman for going after it. Kind of give Kane and Taves a second, one last run. As a core, I give him credit for that, going out and making a bold move. It's just the salary hurts. It's gonna start hurting, and it really hasn't worked out. And nothing against Seth. I think he was really really good in Columbus. But definitely hasn't. I don't know. Since that injury, he's been worse, and
Yeah,
he's slowly on the decline. But I just feel like when he's skating backwards, he's got to pivot to go back. He's beat. He's getting beat really easy, flat-footed, and I don't know what you do with this guy either. Like, what can you do? Who's gonna take on that deal?
I think that he's still injured, and if so, he has
Sit.
no business playing right now.
Yep.
Eat that 9.5 million that you're paying him. He shouldn't be playing when you've got other guys that that could be stepping up. I mean, we've got Murphy on the IR right now too, where he's injured, and this is an opportunity for them to just say, hey, you know what? Let's let these kids play and see what happens. I
Yep.
was I was surprised with the Oilers game, man. They were hanging in there. It was 3-1 in the second period. Next thing you know, it's 3-3. And just like that, the tides turned for the Hawks, and they ended up losing that game against Edmonton 4-3, which was obviously very disappointing. But you know, Edmonton is a offensive heavy team, and they were in the Stanley Cup Finals last year. And but you know what, man? I didn't. I saw. Who was it? but McDavid tried to dance over the blue line, like he did against New York that one year.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He tried to do that, and he got defended by Velasic, dude.
I think Seth Jones had a nice play on him too. Actually, we're
Yeah, he
kind of
did.
bashing him a little bit, but he had a
Yeah,
nice poke check on him. Yeah, that team they started real slow, Edmonton, but then they're just a good veteran team. They found a way to win, and
yeah,
that's why they're going to be in the playoffs again, probably.
yeah. They are. Um, I think Drysdale, he's up there in points like he usually is. McDavid was hurt for a little bit, so
He's is he at 30? I think
I
he's at
think
30 goals. That's
I
insane.
and McKinnon's at 60 points on the year already.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. And Connor Hellebuck just got his 300th win. Probably gonna, the way he's going, he's gonna pass Quick and, you know, probably Ryan Miller soon. Dude's a stud.
Yeah, he is, and he's putting up those numbers, and it's. I was mentioning on Twitter that Russia has been putting up, just tons of great goalies, but the USA, man, they've really turned it around considering at where they were. To be honest with you, the barrel was pretty bare for a long time, going
Oh,
by
jeez.
goalie um, goalie prospects.
I'll name it this way: Richter, Miller, and Quick. The last 20 years, 25 years even.
Yeah,
That's it. That's what's crazy. And then you got Canada, Brodeur, Waugh, Belfort, Cujo, Osgood. It just keeps going, and
yeah.
it's slowly like shifted. Like Russia is like the goalie powerhouse now, and but we're right there. USA is right there.
We were mentioning for the four nations that Canada is going to be they're going to be shown that their weakness is their goaltending. And you know what? If you look at this juniors team that got beat, that's exactly what happened to them, man.
Yeah, they beat themselves too. And credit USA, they've been developing way better lately. But you gotta say this though. I mean, the last two drafts of the main draft, Bedard and Celebrini, those guys are still young too,
Yeah,
and they're just too good for juniors. That you gotta still give Canada that they're still producing elite talent that's too good for juniors. But our development program's been good, back to back. I mean, next year they could win again.
yeah. But Dart's scoring streak ended with the Oilers, which is unfortunate. So hopefully he could just get on another heater. It was nice to see him, man, start stringing some games together and producing in and getting on the score sheet, man, because that's what we really need him to do. For the first half of this season, he's been really targeted because he hasn't had any line mates. When he's going out there with Donato on one wing and Foligno on the other, the entire defense is like just zero in on Bedard.
Yeah,
Let's take him
yeah.
out of the play, and it's been working. Going forward, they need to make a splash. I saw a rumor. I kind of want to talk about this rumor, man.
Yep.
That I saw that Joey Anderson, Artem Leveshinov, and what was it, Ludwinski?
Yeah,
I
they got in
forgot his
trouble.
last. Yeah, three guys got scratched from the Ice Hogs, and a rumor has it that Davidson is trying to put together some kind of a package deal for Elias Pettersson. And I love talking about the rumors because it's getting to
It's
that
fun.
time.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of issues going on there, man, with Vancouver. JT Miller. Some people have said that a solution to the problem that they're having in Vancouver is to just let it go. Just let it
Oh,
go and see what happens. And
I just watched a video on that.
did you?
Yep, I just watched it. So there's a video of Miller coming back to the bench, breaking his stick like a madman. Then the next game, Pedersen scores a goal, comes back to the bench, sitting next to Kuzmenkov, I think his name was, and he starts hitting his stick, like mocking him, and they're both smiling at each other.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, it was a really funny post, and it makes you wonder, like, okay, these guys are now starting to mock him, like, okay, but I don't. If you're the GM, honestly, are you going to trade the kid you just locked up? He's what, 10 years younger? No, I don't think 10 years, but probably like 6 years younger. And getting career year points every season? I don't think so. I'm going to let Miller go. That's just me. But I'd be happy. I'd be all open arms for Pedersen if we
But
were.
they said that they want to get some defensive prospects, which we have an abundance of.
Throw in Connor Murphy.
You know what? How about straight up Connor Murphy for Elias Pettersson?
So I actually posted that.
I saw that.
There was a rumor with the Rangers. Chris Drury offered Chris Kreider one-on-one or something for Pettersson, and Vancouver said no. And I'm like, or no, it was Zibanejad.
Okay.
And he's been terrible this year.
Yeah.
And I said, what? You really? Would you be embarrassed offering that? Like, you'd have to throw in another guy. So I'm like, okay. The Blackhawks offered Connor Murphy for Quinn Hughes, but Edmonton declined. Or Vancouver declined. Like, come on, dude. I'd be embarrassed. That's like an NHL rookie trade. Right there. Like, hopefully the computer passes that one. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see Pettersson come to the Blackhawks. I think that he would be good for Bedard. Dependent on what they want to give up. I wouldn't want to walk away from the number 2 draft pick Leveshinov as of right now, considering we really haven't seen him play. We haven't given him an opportunity to develop, or anything like that. Who knows, man? We could be giving away a huge star. And but then again,
that's the game.
But then again, you never know, man. You never know, because he could be a wash. He could be you don't know who you're getting, but we would be getting somebody that is a tried and proven goal scorer, and I think that he played with Bedard well.
I agree. 100%.
And he can win faceoffs.
And you can move Bedard to the wing, which I think he's better on.
Yeah.
Well, you're bringing up that trade like you don't want to trade a kid you haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Remember what Dallas did? They brought in Joe Nieuwendyk from the Flames in '99. They won the Cup. Who would they get rid of? Dallas.
Did they get rid of Jerome McGinley?
Jerome McGinley.
Oh my God! Flames hey man, legend. This is the second time you
Flames
put me on
legend.
You put me on the spot.
Sometimes you got to do it. Sometimes you got to. Dallas wanted the Cup, but they got rid of a 600 goal scorer.
Yeah.
So they haven't done shit since, but still, that big first Cup was the more important to them. But sometimes you got to pull those triggers on those moves.
Could you imagine Jerome McGinley like on that squad?
There'd be no reason for signing Brett Hall, because that guy, he was on the decline, but he was a huge difference maker. Their defense was unbelievable. You got Darian Hatcher, Zubov. Those guys were Daryl Sador, and then you got Eddie and Net with like a 1.8 whatever it was average. So nobody was beating them.
Yeah. So from the football playoffs to college and pro basketball to the rush of hockey, it's all happening, and you can get it all in one action on the sports you love on DraftKings Sportsbook. With so many sports, there's almost unlimited opportunities to place your first bet every day. Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app, pick your team, and place your bet. And here's something special for all new customers. Bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Make everyday game day with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app to use code ShyTomahawk. That's code ShyTomahawk for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino Resort, Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Man, it is a really good time for sports right now, man. There's basketball on, if you're into that. There's college basketball. I'm into it. There's football playoffs are just starting. You've got hockey. which is incredible. And you got the one more game, one more in the college football playoffs. So go ahead and place your bets, Matt. Let's see here. Get some NHL news, man. Keener, 7 games. In the last 7 games, he's got 5 goals, 8 assists for 13 points. That's pretty good for the dude who's being washed up. There's a lot of people that have said he's washed, man, and I never bought it. He's going to be like Gretzky. He's going to be a point per game guy until the day he retires. Remember when Maddox retired? He was still striking dudes out. That's how Kaner's going to be. He's going to be one of those dudes who's good until he's like, you know what, I'm just going to hang him up.
Yeah, he's, I'd rather have Corey Perry, at 4 million, mentoring my future generational talent. Yeah, Nick Foligno. No, those guys are fine.
I can't, it's okay. Well, you don't really, I guess we can have the conversation.
It's fine. 4 million's fine. Kaner's making 2.8 point a game guy, still doing Showtime shit. No big deal.
Yeah, man.
We
It's
gotta
hard.
move on.
It's hard to see him in a Red Wings jersey. I'm happy for, I wouldn't say I'm happy for him, but it's cool that, he's turning things around for him. I mean, he's just like what he did in Chicago, carrying the team.
He's a fan
being that
favorite.
one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, fan favorite, putting up points. But, I guess we could thank, have you seen that account, Faulkner?
Yes, I was just going to say that. That dude's committed.
He is, man.
He's
Dude,
committed.
I'm telling you, dude, there are some awesome accounts on Twitter. Bill Wirtz is one of them.
No, he's fucking
Oh,
beauty.
man.
Yeah.
Right in the Pine is good, man.
Good dude,
But
yeah.
this new Faulkner one is incredible.
Dude,
And
every time. Never fails. Every Kane post.
Yeah.
Another move brought to you by like he's got all this shit photoshopped. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
this guy's good.
He
Some
is,
of it's
man.
like, oh shit, I can't like that,
Yeah. He's good,
But-
man. And it's so good that we've got these dudes in the community giving
Clearly we have that side on our
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, it's great
That's
to see
cool.
these
I
guys
embrace
out
you
here
guys.
doing cool stuff. Keep going,
Yeah.
guys. And especially for the journalistic integrity of journalism. But anyways, Kaner, I think that he could still be doing a lot for the Blackhawks. He should be on the team wearing the C, but he made a statement recently about Jonathan Toews. We talked about Taser last week and his his experience in India and what he's got going on out there. And he said that he might want to spin the wheels on coming back into the hockey. And Kaner made a statement. I just want to read this from the Hockey News. I'd love to see him come back and play for the Blackhawks. That would be amazing. When you look at his career and how storied it is and how much success he had as a Blackhawk, you don't want to see him wear another jersey. I don't know if that's really in the cards. That's just my thinking. And you know what? If Kaner's thinking that, everybody is. We're at a point, man, where it's like, if we're signing TJ Brody, why don't we sign Jonathan Toews just to be on the penalty kill and to win freaking faceoffs?
You kidding me, dude? He'd be number one center.
He'd still be the number one
Yeah.
center. I mean, I think that he
Yeah.
could do it. Depending on if his health holds up, that's one thing. And you had a really great idea that he should be contacted by the Blackhawks organization saying, hey, man, if you're looking to work out, come back to Chicago, come use the facility. And to be honest with you, he comes to the facility. Why don't you come practice with the guys? Come practice with the team. Your jersey's going to be retired up in the rafters within like the next 10 years.
Yep.
Come in. Let's see what you have. It's kind of like a
We'll send the
unofficial.
check to your house.
Yeah,
type
just
of thing.
yeah,
On
man.
us.
Yeah. It's like you have like a private tryout in a way, and just to see if he can come back. Maybe he's like, hey, you know what? I don't have it in me anymore. I can't do it. Or then maybe you see him and you're like, hey, you know what, dude? Come here, sign this contract. We'll give you $5 million to play.
No, it ain't about the money.
No, it's not about the
Yeah.
money at all.
He'd
But if
take
you're giving,
he'd take a minimum.
I
I
think-
guarantee you he'd take the minimum.
I think that he would too. But considering the money that Foligno is getting, and we've got a guy who won 3 cups for this team, why not give him 5? It's not. It's not like we don't have this. It's not like we don't have the cap space.
Do a conditioning thing. First, skate on your own. See how you're feeling. sign a what they call it, a PTO
Yeah.
or whatever, and say, hey, go play 5 games in Rockford. It's happened before. Pros go down to play.
Shelly did it.
Play down in Rockford, get the pace. If you can keep up with the pace, okay. If you think you can, if we'll call you up when you're ready, and you think you're ready, and if you're not, we won't.
Kind of as like a
Finish
conditioning stint.
half of the year, finish it up,
Yeah.
or if not, just hang them up. Either
Yeah.
way, you're a legend. You're not. It's for him. He's doing it for
Yeah.
himself. He's not doing it for a cup. He's not doing it for money. He's doing it because he wants to show himself.
I think that his like his illness has literally taken away his career from him. That he wants to see like, hey, I feel like that I've gone past this, and I want to see if I still got some in the tank. And they should do it, man. I think that it would be great for the fan base, especially with this misstep that they did with Kane and not re-signing him. And I think that it would start giving a little bit of give the front office and the management, the ownership, maybe a little bit of how do you say, some not camaraderie, something with the fans, like, hey, here, this is for you guys.
Well, don't you think that that statement by Kane was sort of
a jab?
yeah, like he shouldn't wear any other jersey. Like Kane could easily be saying, we're saying the same thing about Kane,
Yeah.
like he should never went anywhere else. But I feel Kyle kind of pushed it a little bit too. He's like, yeah, he made a big deal about it. Like they filmed him calling Kane. Remember that?
Yeah.
Hey, I got you to the Rangers, bud. Go. Good luck with everything. Pack up your stuff. See you later. He almost seemed happy, but
I think that he was happy because, he probably went back and forth with the management over it, because they said that he didn't want to move. He didn't want to move Kaner, but Faulkner did, because she wanted to move away from those cup teams. And then they did it in the light of saying, hey, these kids that are here now can't perform or step up into leadership positions if they have guys casting their shadows from these cup teams.
what?
Yeah, they said that. And it's like,
Okay.
look, I understand. Okay, look, I get it.
I don't.
You don't want to you don't want these old times to be hanging over, but at the same time, you have two guys that came up through
The same way they're doing.
yeah, and they have the experience. They've done it all. They've won it everything multiple times. Why wouldn't you want to have this around these kids?
Are you
All of
kidding
these
me?
kids coming in.
Crosby joining the league with Mario Lemieux.
Yeah,
I'm sure that was huge for him.
yeah, he lived with them.
It's whatever. I'd get the Twitter guy on here. He could send the posts right now. The
Faulkner.
Faulkner Bros. Yeah.
Yeah, man, he's
Oh
funny.
my god. It's so dumb. Someone who's never played hockey in their life talking about that. That's insane. I couldn't. I would love being in the same room as a guy who's won 3 Stanley Cups, done it all. It'd make me more comfortable in the room. If a kid's I'm not comfortable with him in the room, then shut up, dude. You're retarded. Because
Yeah,
how can you say that? Like that's a guy who's he's gonna probably pass the C to somebody, probably like a Bedard guy. Him and Kane would probably be best friends. Like that type of player that Bedard needs is a guy like Kane. I'm still hoping for Mitch Marner. I've been watching them. Dude's unbelievable. In a better defensive system too. He's playing even better. So I'm still hoping for something like that. I doubt it happens, but honestly, man, it's not been fun watching this team.
yeah.
From the management, there's no structure from the coaching staff. There's line swaps all the damn time. Chemistry can't get developed. I don't know, man. I'm just kind of looking forward to the playoffs because we can kind of just watch some good hockey being played because we're not getting it here.
Sure. Why don't we talk about the East playoff push? Talk about
Jeez.
that just the parity that's going on over there.
Well, look at the Red Wings, man. They're back in action now. I mean, like if you look, pretty much everybody but Buffalo is there's a shot for a playoff spot. I mean, right now you got Columbus in wild card number 2, and no one had that on their card. These guys, like with the tragedy that happened at the beginning of the year with Johnny Hockey, it's been like bad luck for this franchise. Almost every year something bad happens, and for them to be in this spot, I'm kind of rooting for him, dude. Uh, Sean Monahan, he's having a great season too. Can you imagine him with his buddy? Like they could have been like old times with the Flames, but I recently he got hurt, but he's been having such a good year. Uh, and then you got Montreal, man. They lost to the Hawks, but they've been beating everybody else, which is another thing. It's very weird.
Montreal is one of those that they kind of like show their face like they're going to jump into the playoff push, and then they kind of just bow out.
It's gonna happen. Teams like I don't know. I still think Ottawa's got a good shot. Detroit, the way they're playing, they could bounce their way back in. But I did you have Washington at the top
No.
of the Metro? Me neither. You got the Devils at 2, which I expected.
Yeah, I
I
did.
expected them to be number 1. But Washington's been so good. Ovi's still scoring goals, and yeah, he gets empty netters. But credit to the Capitals, man. They're always in front in the third period, and they're holding leads, and the other teams they have to pull their goalies. And Ovi's right there blocking shots, skating to the open net, and getting closer to Gretzky.
Yeah.
Uh, and then you got I was just talking about Jersey. They're Jacob Markstrom in net now. They're solid. And then you got Tampa, who me and you kind of I secretly think you're a Tampa fan. They got 4 20-goal guys.
Yeah.
They got Cooch, Point, Hagel, and who am I?
Gensel.
Gensel, Jake Gensel, the Stamkos replacement. And that team's scary, man. Hedman in the back. You got McDonough in the back, Vasi in net. Those 4 guys. And Anthony Cirelli, like the two-way guy. He's going to probably get 20 this year. That's a team I do not want to play in the first round, and I hope it's Toronto. Because those are the best playoff series. Toronto's so high, like, oh, yeah, we're going to smoke everybody. Tampa comes in and just mops the floor with them. But it's going to be exciting, man. Everybody's in it. If you look at the standings, it's really close. 3-game heater. You can leapfrog 3 teams. If you drop 3, you're in the basement with Buffalo. So it's going to be a good fight.
It's going to make it interesting, just like the games that you put on, that there's something at stake in these games where these guys are going to be motivated to play. I wouldn't want to play Tampa at all.
No.
Just with the experience, they're completely retooled, regeared, ready to go. Even Florida, man, I think that
they're scary.
They're scary. They've got a lot of life in them, and they're a team that you don't want to play. Watching the Kings last week, dude, they're looking really good as well. That's on the West Coast, but where obviously the parity's not as good as it is on
the
the
East
East
is
Coast.
Crazy this year.
I wasn't expecting New York to be where they are today, man.
I would say New York is the biggest disappointment of the season.
Yeah.
Like, they went from winning the President's Trophy last year to complete dog shit.
Yeah.
And they had to trade their captain away. The next day, they signed Shesterkin to that mega deal. He's been average. Still a very good goalie. He's the real deal. But they just can't get it going. I'm surprised Laviolette's still the coach. But it's like, okay, we fire a coach. Who do you bring up? There's really the coaching merry-go-round, whatever you want to call it.
That's what I like to call it.
I don't know. I don't know who you even with the Blackhawks next season. Who do you go for? Who's out there?
I think that they're going to hold on to Sorensen.
I would like to see him hold on to him, but send him back down to Rockford
And let him let him
think that-
continue to kind of.
he didn't ask for this,
Yeah, I know.
I mean, he's not going to say no to it, but it's like, okay, we got to let you go. And I mean, you kept Derek King. What has this guy ever done for us? He's still an assistant coach. So I don't know, man. I think Gerard Gallant's out there. I've seen his game before. He wasn't good enough for Florida. Wasn't good enough for Vegas. Those teams won cups. So I honestly, I don't know what you do. Maybe Mike Sullivan's let go at the end of the year with Pittsburgh. Give him
David Carl.
a call. Yeah, I mean, if I'm him, you're going to have almost the same team next year, except more even younger. Probably, it's like you really want to start your NHL coaching career off like that. If that's just me, I don't. I think I want more of a GM that gives me a better team, so I have a chance to keep my job. Because I don't think the next coach isn't going to have a chance in hell either.
He's good with. I think we want to get a coach that's good with youth players and developing them.
I just want like a structure, a system set. I want guys to buy in.
Oh, they
And
had one and it didn't work though.
well, the last structure and accountability we had was Q. And since then we've been okay, let's try this line. Let's try this line. Let's keep all the shooting to the outside so we never touch the puck ever. I feel like against the Red Wings we were shorthanded. That whole
Yeah.
first period, what the Hawks get one shot or something?
Yeah.
Like we're just chasing guys and it's like it's not working, guys. It's we don't have the personnel to play the way like we used to. And it was so exciting. Puck possession is so fun. And we don't have anybody that can. The most important thing in puck possession is to win the first faceoff.
Right.
We can't do that.
Yeah.
So there's no chance in hell for that.
I've seen Bedard win a few, man, and there was
It's been
one
better.
game. Yeah, he's getting
Yeah.
better. Him and it might have been him and Reichel. They were like 5 or 6 or something like that, which was a lot better than what they had been doing.
Well,
But
look
it's
at the
doing
other
that on
night.
a nightly basis.
We pulled the goalie, and I thought the Hawks did a great job at the end of that. I think it was Edmonton, right?
Yeah.
Pulled the goalie. They kept the puck in the zone, kept firing pucks on, and I think it was Foligno who took the draw. He won it like a freaking madman, and just
Yeah.
Bedard had no chance to keep it in. But it's like that's the shit that happens. So yeah, you win a faceoff, but you don't even you can't get anything going with it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's out there. I've seen names like Alain Vigneault. I think he's kind of
No.
done with coaching. Yeah, but he's a good coach.
Yeah.
People are hoping for Cooper. I don't think he's leaving Tampa. Why would he? He's beloved. They're not doing anything wrong for him to leave.
Yeah.
So, Mike Sullivan. I think he probably won't be back. People think I'm crazy, but I'd love a Patty Waugh. Just that goalie connection. There's rumors the Islanders are pushing hard for Pedersen too. They got that
Oh,
little
really?
trade history. They brought Bo Horvat in, stuff like that. But I'd like an old school guy like that. Hold guys accountable. Give them a system. Hold them accountable. If they're not playing, find someone else to take their roles. So
Well, all right, everybody. That's all that we got for you on Monday. The Blackhawks play the Flames tonight. Hopefully, they can streak out a win. I think playing for like the number one draft pick is getting old. So hopefully, they can get a win tonight. Bedard can get back on a scoring streak, and we'll see how it goes. But we'll catch you on the next one. This is a Tomahawk. We're out of here.